Good morning. Good morning to you, DJ Wonder Chrissy, with the breaking migrant mayhem news. Yeah, we got some good videos for you today about the unraveling of Denver. Denver seems to be have some cracks, showing some cracks in Denver, and we got a friend. Leaving us some comments from Denver, the Last Incarnate. A shout out to the Last Incarnate, who he's not happy with what's going on in Denver, and I don't blame him. So let's kind of peer into what's going on in Denver. Here's a gentleman on the street.
So the thing is one, it's to try and control the problems that come with these migrants.
Yeah.
Because these migrants are from a different culture, and one of the things that their culture is things we'd consider domestic violence is normal to their culture.
In their country, yeah.
So, they're readjusting, they're reorienting.
I tell people that.
And then there's also, unfortunately, overly, and I hate to say it, liberal white folk, not the conservative liberal white folk, come up in here and they will freaking literally cause problems for the migrants. And they'd be more problematic than the migrants themselves.
I hear you.
So,
yeah, with the protests and stuff, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Some people just come up in here, you'll get a rich white dude who wants to hit up on a young Venezuelan chick, or you'll get that young gangsta black guy who's looking to make some money off of these new guys who are just trying to get it.
Yeah, I'm going to put them on the street, have them work for me, give them a couple dollars. I see what you're saying. What's going on with the...
So there you go. There's some on the street reaction to what's going on in Denver. They're even if Denver's a woke city. Denver has always been a woke city. You can blame it on the lack of oxygen in the air in Denver, but they're actually now. Here's a video where the people are some of the people on the city council or what have you are asking the department heads to check their math, because supposedly they thought it was going to cost them $180 million this year. Now they're saying $120 million, and they've had 5,000 migrants at one point. They're down to 2,500 now. So I don't know where all these migrants have gone. Maybe they bust them to Chicago and in warmer climates. Maybe that's how they did it. But let's listen in as they try to make sure that their woke math is still working.
It has asked its agencies to cut up to 15% of their budgets to pay for the migrant crisis. But City Council's point person on the budget says something isn't adding up. She wants more clarity on how to spend tax dollars. Our Kelly Rinke has that.
Denver's migrant crisis may not be as expensive as the city thought. $120 million the city now projects, down from $100
They're going to actually save money.
Some exciting updates to share. Department of Human Services on Wednesday updated City Council on the costs, but the numbers didn't make much sense to Council member Stacy Gilmore.
I'm trying to make sure how we're tracking, because we haven't received a
No one's tracking. We're just spending.
Beyond these PowerPoint presentations, documentation-wise, how you're calculating the numbers.
She's questioning the math.
CRT math.
We'll have to vote on setting aside millions of taxpayer dollars to help migrants.
I need more specificity around how we're arriving at these numbers to be able to vote on.
We're just pulling them out of our butt.
Gilmore told us she wants a more detailed cost breakdown.
Yeah, that sort of numbers are coming from.
15%. The mayor's office thinks it could be less due to lower projections.
And now he's still trying to get to $120 million. That's a significant percentage.
I'd tell you, if you spend zero, you wouldn't have to budget anything. Wouldn't that work, huh? Zero. Let's use zero, and then the problem is just totally over.
Agency budget. And without a spreadsheet, I'm doing back of the napkin math myself to try to figure this out.
Denver has gone from 7 hotels, they've commandeered 7 hotels this winter, down to 3. So they're drastically cutting their shelter, quote unquote, shelter space, and we're gonna see what happens, and they're a couple of weeks ahead of Chicago for clearing out the shelters, as we call it. But we're gonna find out how this is gonna end.
Mayor's office says it's reviewing budgets with department leaders, and they expect to share more numbers in April.
We still need to make sure that math is mathing to make those good decisions.
Gilmore is confident the city will be able to find $120 million with those budget cuts. She's more concerned the public didn't really weigh in on this process. City says no one knows the budgets more than the department leaders.
Yeah, I think part of this, and you hear her echo this, and we hear it from next viewers, we hear it from citizens, is that all of this is happening on an emergency basis, right? I don't think anybody would deny it is an emergency. And then you've got the homelessness crisis, also on an emergency basis. And the numbers by the hundreds of millions are just flying by.
I mean, we're talking about a lot of money here, right? I think she's kind of like having this message of like, let's pump the brakes and like figure out where we're going to get this money and how we get this money. She just really wants that transparency before she makes that vote.
Well, that's a shared value here. Certainly, we want people to know where their money is going. Kelly Rinke.
Drinking.
So how Denver is going to pay for this? They're like closing the DMV every other day. They're closing recreational parks, indoor recreational facilities. They're cutting back on like lifeguards or part-time workers in these facilities. So they're taking money out of people's mouths and in essence giving it to the migrants. So they've got to come up with. I mean, they're doing what I guess they need to do. They need to come up with the money from somewhere. But when you do that, you're taking it away from somebody and giving it to someone else. And guess what? The person that was working for the DMV or the Park District or whoever is an American citizen. American citizen paying an American taxes. You're taking the money to them and you're giving it to an illegal alien. Let me say that again. You're giving it to an illegal alien who's not paying taxes, who should not be here, and who's just consuming money and services without even paying into the system. They're begging, stealing, and who knows what else, right? So let's play another one where they talk about nonprofits are running out of money too in Denver, and they're scaling back, and the money's starting to dry up, folks. Money's starting to dry up, and people are starting to the smart people are starting to recognize it. Now, the people that don't recognize it, the cities that don't recognize it, are going to just still spend, and they're going to have themselves in a bind.